Nikki Girl Travels the World. We're working today from a cafe, but I want to set this up. So if you have any questions about anything related to Mexico City, about working here, living here, life here, you can ask us. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm paying attention to that. It's kind of all I'm going to be doing. Well, I'm going to be working. Computer. I'm going to be working, but I'm also kind of just hanging out and answering questions. So if you have anything you want to know from either of us, let us know. All right, let me see if I can get these headphones to work in case it's hard to hear me with this mask on.
I think raise it up.
Raise it up?
Angle it down.
Adelia says raise it up and angle it down. Let's see how that works. If I get it too high, it gets flimsy. Better view? Do you want to be on camera, Adelia?
I don't care. I was thinking of trying to get your computer in the shot.
Oh, no. All right.
So that anybody, YouTube has let me know that you're streaming live.
Okay, so anyone who's here, if you have questions, ask questions. That's really all I'm doing today is answer questions. There's no talk. So I'm here, I'm working. People always ask for a day in the life. Boop, boop, boop. People always ask for a day in the life, and my day in the life is either laying on the couch and eating snacks, or it's in the streets with Adelia. So this is what a day in the life actually looks like. I'm really hoping you can hear me, and you would tell me if you couldn't. All right, so get in the chat, ask me questions if you have them. If not, I'm here, I'm hanging out. Hey, Darshell. Hey, S. Taylor. Good morning, Greta. We're about to order breakfast. We're at a cafe. I think I'm going to try their acai bowl. I know you care. I know you don't care. Ballerina, I am in a cafe in Mexico City, in the San Angel neighborhood. Hey, Yolanda. Okay, like I said, if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat on my computer. Otherwise, I'm just here. We're just hanging out. We're not really doing anything. I like to release a video on Tuesday and on everything to talk about today. So, we're there. All right. Do you use American credit cards there? Is your credit score a thing there? Okay. So, credit score is not a thing. Credit isn't as much a thing here as it is in other places. But credit cards, yes, I use credit cards. I know a lot of people say they have problems using Amex. I mostly use Amex down here and Visa, and I'm fine. And you use any Mastercards?
I use Amex as my preference, but sometimes, people probably can't hear me, but a lot of times people won't take my Amex, so Visa, Mastercard, whatever.
I've had very few experiences of people not taking the Amex. Maybe very few.
Where you live and the area you make moves in. Maybe that's what it is.
I had one time when Amex was like, girl, either you doing too much or this is fraud. And I was actually doing too much. But other than that, I haven't had a problem with my Amex. All right, so I'm going to go, hold on. Oh, no, go ahead. I wasn't teased, Adelia. I'm going to go, so if I can see these comments on my computer, because y'all are moving pretty fast, and they're going away in the chat, so let me see what I can do. The plan is to be here all day. So hopefully you can hear us. And you don't mind watching us eat, because we're about to eat. All right, let's see what's going on. Okay, I saw something about a question about the COVID-19 status, and people are really cautious here. But you know, it's. She always orders a hot chocolate. Always orders a hot chocolate. Mia is not with us, Greta. We eat a lot when we're together. Un acai bowl?
¿Acai bowl?
Sí, gracias. ¿Es hace con leche? No. Leche en el acai bowl? No, gracias. All right. So we ordered food. We'll see how that works. And I'm going to come to content so I can see what your questions are. I saw a question about will Russia's current movements impact our trip to Turkey? Probably not. No. Get travel insurance. Get travel insurance just in case. But probably not. Let me see what other questions you have. It's not giving me the option to.
Just watch it in the regular
Yeah.
stream.
I gotta watch it like. Alright. Karen, you really need to improve your Spanish. Not like, you don't need to be fluent. I'm not fluent. You don't need to improve your Spanish, but you do need to have some Spanish because specifically in Mexico City, people want to communicate with you. So they will try, but there's not as much Spanish spoken here as in some of the other big cities. So yes, get your Spanish on, girl. All right. Let me see what the other questions are, what I've missed, what we're doing. La 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 la. Okay, y'all got the questions this morning. Okay, we talked about credit cards. Morning, mommy. Talked about COVID-19 status. Adelia, if you didn't hear, she ordered. So what's Adelia gonna eat? She ordered pancakes.
Hot syrup, because I don't eat syrup. You didn't know that?
What did you order instead?
Cajeta.
Which is a.
Kind of like goat milk caramel.
Oh, yes. Okay. I don't know why my brain went to peanuts. So she ordered a goat milk caramel sauce because she does not eat syrup. So it's like a, I think the closest I could, it's like the thing in the middle of, it's like on whatchamacallit from Argentina, right? It's like a caramel. It's like a dulce de leche.
Yeah.
It's like a dulce de leche. That's what it is.
And I'm crossing my fingers that my bacon is actually correct.
Yes.
'Cause
So
that's not a thing here.
bacon here is suspect. Sometimes I ordered bacon the other day, and it just said bacon on the menu, and I swear it was like beef bacon, and I was like, who would ever ask for this? Who? All right. So, what's the best time to visit Mexico? It depends on where you're going. It's a very big country, so depending on which state you're going to, it depends. All right. Did you have to change your cell phone plan once you moved there? I ported my number to Google Fi, but the other day Google was like, "You're supposed to be in America, girl. Why are you not in America?" So they say they're going to turn off my data if I don't come back to the U.S. When I had T-Mobile was like, "We just won't cut off your plan if you don't come back to the U.S." Google said we're going to cut off your data if you don't come back to the U.S. and use it in the U.S. for a little while, but you'll still have phone and text. Well, I have Wi-Fi at home. I have Wi-Fi everywhere I go, so I don't need like data walking down the streets. So I'm okay. I can be cut off from data for a little while if I have phones. I still have incoming calls and outgoing calls. I still have, and I'll have text messages. I don't really need data because I can just get on Wi-Fi pretty much. There's public Wi-Fi in the city. It's not great, but it's there. Got Wi-Fi at home. Every cafe I go to has Wi-Fi. And someone actually asked about the cafe we're in. He said, it was Donna. You guys say you're going to be there all day. Is there a limit to how long you could be here? No. The restaurants here are like, buy something and hang out. It's very much a cafe culture where you can buy anything and, you can be here all day. You don't have to, and like, buy anything usually means you spend less than $20 a day. Yeah, probably closer to like $10 a day when we're to each. So we said $10 a day each, and we can be here all day. So it's a great alternative to co-working sites. Yes,
There's food here.
there's food, which is very important to both of us. We don't have to go out and get food anywhere else. We can bring food. We can't bring food in, but it's not like we're paying for food. We're paying to use the space, and we have to buy food. That's our problem with co-working spaces. We're using this space for free, but we just have to buy food, and they don't care. All right, let's see what else you have. Are you still doing the no spend challenge this month? I am spending less. Okay, so to date, I did the no spend challenge in January, and to date, I've spent less money than I did in January. When Adelia was in the U.S., I was going to send some things to her to bring down for me from Amazon, and then I was like, she's really just going to judge me. Like I was gonna send her some clothes and stuff, and I was like, well, she's a bit of a hater, and if I have them bring clothes down, I said what I said. She's a bit of a hater, and if I have to have her bring things down, she's gonna talk some shit, and I need more positivity in my life, right? So I didn't send her the stuff and ask her to mule it down for me. I've spent less money than I spent to date in January, so I'm not quite doing the challenge, but I'm also still not spending at the pace I did last year. All right. Mia is not with us. My Spanish is not going well because I stopped taking classes with my tutor. No real problem with her. It was just we didn't have a very consistent schedule, and I need consistency for anything to happen in my life. I wanted to take a class. I wanted to take a class at the university in February, but it started like the day on February 2nd, I think, and the no spend challenge ended at the end of January. I didn't have a chance to pay for it before class started, so I'll start, I think, in March. It's online, so it'll be a lot easier. All right. Cha 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 cha. Do we have stores like Walmart and CVS, or do you have to go to little markets for things you need? Walmart is here. Other big stores like Walmart are here. Costco is here. CVS is not here, but like there's a corner store on a ton of corners. I'm not gonna say every corner, but a lot of places have some store on the block, whatever. I'd rather support them than support the big stores here. So when I can, I shop there. But I'm also going to Costco. So like, you just balance it out. You can find everything you want. You don't have to go to little stores, but like, if you don't like Walmart in the U.S., you won't like Walmart abroad. It's the same thing. There is no Target. See that question as Taylor? There is no Target. It's just, other stuff. I don't think so. Target tried to open in Canada and they closed. So I think Target might only be in the U.S. If you've been in another country where you've seen a Target, let me know. But I think
Target supposedly will ship to parts of Mexico.
But like, there's no store here.
No.
Yes. Don't ship your stuff from Target. I'll tell you. Okay, so Greta had a grape jelly question. Adelia's not gonna. Maybe you do know. Is it hard to find grape jelly?
Oh, I heard it is. I stopped eating jelly because I never ate fruit preserves because they have real fruit in them. And I stopped eating jelly a long time ago. But I have heard tell of the difficulty in finding grape jelly.
I feel like I've seen it, but I don't know for sure because I don't eat jelly.
Other fruits are more popular to make. Like this place has homemade marmalades they have, but it'll be stuff like guava and those other things.
Okay. All right. The Dow side of my family, I see this question from Jeff. The Dow side of my family is from Antigua. So if you're a cousin, hi cousin. And most of the family in Antigua leaves the E off, so they're DOW. So maybe we know each other. I don't know. Dating abroad. You got to ask a more specific question than that. Adelia and I will both tell you that we don't know anything about dating abroad. So ask a more specific question to Jackson, and hopefully I'll be able to answer it for you. There are so many women you can talk to about dating because they actually do it. We think about it, and we don't actually do it.
We think about it.
We think about it. We're actively thinking about dating, but we're not actually doing it. Is there a BJ warehouse? No. Costco's, a couple Costco's in town, a bunch of Walmarts. Walmart even bought out some local stores, so there's even more now. It's good. All right. Kagoma with the all caps. Are Mexicans welcoming? What's the most attractive thing about Mexico? It's going to depend on what you're looking for. Mexico City gives me everything I'm looking for. The weather is great. Azalea and I are wearing not the same kind of clothes today. The weather is good for it. She got her hot chocolate, so she's about to do a happy dance. So yeah, so the weather's great. The people are nice. It's just I know what I want in a city, and it's giving me everything I want. I have a couple of videos on my channel about why I love living here. Instead of rehashing that, watch a video. Watch one of those videos about living in Mexico City, because there's a lot. I can't really speak louder because we're at a public cafe. I know some of you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me, try turning up your volume just a little bit, maybe, because I don't want to be here yelling. I don't have volume control on my earbuds, and I don't even know that they're connected because I can't hear anything. Okay, so the question about, okay, sorry, let's back up a second. So yes, so Mexico, I can't say what's most attractive about it in a general sense, because it's going to depend on what you're looking for. I love it for what it is. All right. Is there a hospital complex near me? Clinic, dentist, vision? There are a bunch of hospitals everywhere. So, yeah, there are really good health centers down here, if that's your question. Do you buy clothes there, and are sizes comparable to the U.S.? All of the fast fashion brands in the U.S. are here. All of the designer brands in the U.S. are here. The difference you'll see are like the mid-market stores. So if you like H&M and Zara, Forever 21, they're here. A lot of the Spanish fast fashion brands like Sephora and Pull and Bear and some of the other ones from Spain are also here. So yes, you can shop here, you can shop in local stores, you can shop in the stores you're used to, you can, but like, there's no Macy's, right? So if you're like used to buying clothes at Macy's, that's not gonna happen. I have comparable stores, but they're different. But yes, you can definitely buy clothes here. You don't have to always buy clothes that you ship in, but sometimes there's something I specifically want that is gorgeous. This head wrap, Snow is from. It is from the Rap Life. I don't buy them down here. I buy them from black head wrap makers around the world, but not here. All right. Do I still have close connections to my friends in the U.S.? Do they come to visit? Yes, I visit them. They visit me. We still have close connections. You did too, right? Yeah.
It's only an hour and a half flight.
Yeah. So home for her is an hour and a half flight. For me, it's a little bit longer, but her home is here. But her prior home is an hour and a half, so it's easy to get back and forth. Let's see. There is no vaccine requirement to enter Mexico. Y'all had questions. I didn't realize we were going to do this like this today. All right, I'm working hard. I thought it would be like one question every 10 minutes. But we're doing this until my food comes, and then I'm going to eat. All right. If you're thinking of an internet cafe, Karen Smith, like a place where you go in and there are like a deck of computers, like they used to do. There are some of those around here, but most of these places are just regular cafes. I'll show you where we go. Are regular cafes. You can see cafe, that have great Wi-Fi. But yes, there are internet cafes with banks of computers if you don't have your own you want to work at. Okay. What do you both do when you're not sharing details? Any fun, enjoyment, social exploring?
Yes. Yes, we do that.
We do a lot of that, but I think both of us are not big on sharing the details of our lives online.
And I don't want to whip out a camera, like in the middle of this thing that I'm doing. So I just do the thing, and then sometimes I tell y'all about it later.
Yes. There are people who film every moment of their life. That's not us. And so it's hard. So what you usually get from us are like talking head videos where we're telling you there's something we did, something we experienced. It's hard to be in the moment and enjoy things and video. But yeah. there are more of you guys here than I thought. We're doing this. All right. Do you have any plans to visit the U.S. anytime soon? Yes, I want to get the booster shot, and I want to go. Let Google know that I still recognize America as a place on this planet. So take my phone over there. I could have shown Adele, you take it back. No, he was about to be gone for a month.
No,
But-
I'm not gonna be there.
No, I should have had you do it when you went last
but
time.
it wouldn't have gone for a month.
You plan was for you to be gone for a month, yes. So yeah, I'm going to go back probably sometime this spring, maybe before Turkey, to get a booster shot. What about you? Are you going back to the USA anytime soon?
Not if I can help it.
If you didn't hear her, that was not if I can help it. All right. Do you use Mexican banks or online banks? Adelia has a Mexican bank account. I don't, and I haven't had any problems. Sometimes, like I went to a market the other day, and the easiest way, that people wouldn't accept cards, but they would accept a transfer from your bank account to their bank account. But I don't have a local bank account, so that wasn't working out. Right, like that's not a thing. So yeah, you can get a local bank account. Usually when I see local banks, there are people, lots of people waiting in line outside to talk to a teller. I'm not about that life. And so I keep my money in US banks. I've had to go in to a bank twice I've lived here officially I've been physically in the city almost 2 years. Almost 2 years of my body being in the city, on and off some of that time. And I've been in a bank twice, once to pay someone, because they were like, if you want to pay me in the bank. And I could have done it at an OXXO. I could have done it at a quarter store, so I didn't need to go into the bank for that. But they weren't going to charge me at the bank. And the bank I went into had no line. And to pay for my immigration paperwork. So 2 times, pay for my immigration paperwork and pay a lawyer that I hired to do some work for me. And to review my lease, because I know y'all gonna ask. And both times there was no line. But usually outside of most banks, there's a long line. There's something about the culture of banking here where people expect to have lines, and so they're okay with lines. I'm so sorry that you can't hear. I know the sound isn't great. I don't know what to do. So I can bring it closer to us. Bring it closer.
Yeah, right. Sure, so.
Are you asking to get out of the frame?
No,
Okay.
but if they can hear all that noise, they can understand
Yeah.
that's Mexico.
This is Mexico City. It's noisy. So since we're outside, this is what we do. All right. Are larger shoe sizes difficult to find in Mexico City? 10 to 12 for women.
That is what I am told.
That's what Adelia has heard. I should be knowing stuff. So
I can get my shoe size because there are Mexican shoe sizes. They don't use U.S. shoe sizes.
Yes.
I can get mine, but I wear an 8.5 U.S.
Okay. I wear a 7 and 8 US really, and I can get my shoe size, but I don't really buy shoes down here.
I bought sandals.
So the homie at the market the other day was wearing some sandals, and I was like, they're real cute. He was like, it's rabbit lined. They were furry, and it was rabbit fur.
Oh.
You know I'm gonna have those sandals soon. So I am gonna buy some shoes soon because I saw these rabbit sandals and they were super cute. If you know me, you know I like fur. I'm gonna have some rabbit sandals. All right. So yes, 10 to 12, difficult. Bring your shoes with you. All right. Wi-Fi included in rent in Mexico? It depends. It depends. It can be. Sometimes it's not. My Wi-Fi is not included. None of my utilities are included in my lease. My building has a. What's included in my building are, what do they call it?
Amenities?
But what's the Spanish word? Remember?
Servicios? No.
No.
I don't know.
there's a Spanish word for it, but it's basically like all the amenities in that building. So there's a different, in my rent, it includes the gym, the security, all of the things that the condo owners pay for are included in my rent. Thank you. I know that a super sticker came in from Stephanie D. I'm gonna get to your question, Stephanie. Thanks for watching. Thank you for the super sticker. I'm about to use it to eat some food. Eat some food. Eat some food. Okay. Are there many volunteer opportunities for expats? With Stephanie's question, something that will facilitate building relationships with locals. We're both members of a club called the International Women's Club. No, what's
Yeah.
the C stand for? C Club. Okay. It's called the International Women's Club. They volunteer all the time. I haven't had a chance to go. I joined in beginning of February. I haven't had a chance to do anything with them yet, but they do a lot of volunteer things. They do it, I think, a lot in schools. Where else are they volunteering?
There's a group home for girls, a school, the dog shelter, and there's a foundation that feeds seniors. They do that.
She's been in the club longer than I have. All right. Greta asks, can you pay rent and utilities online? Not necessarily online, because I made a payment the other day and it never, I struggled. I was like, I'm gonna get this. They have a whole app. I'm gonna make this payment. I'm gonna do it.
A gas bill? Because I really thought my gas got turned off this morning because I haven't paid. I can't get the thing to pay the bill.
No.
And I turned the thing, and I didn't hear the boiler kick on, and I was like, cold shower today. But so far they haven't cut me off. I need to figure out how to pay it.
My gas has been cut off, but I haven't paid it. It's very hard to figure out how to pay your bill online, but when my gas got cut off, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh no girl, come through, you don't have gas? Come through, just quickly click right here and pay. And I paid and it got turned on, I think the same day. I also have showers in my pool area, so I just went downstairs and had a very hot, the shower downstairs in my building is nicer than my own shower, so I went down there and showered. So it was nice. All right. Ask me anything.
Say until your food shows up.
Until my food shows up. Let's see. What's a typical day for you, rest or leisure? It depends. So a lot of days are, I used to say that I had 3 or 4 days off a week, but truly what's happening now, and I think I need to take a little bit more control of my schedule, is that I am, I'm working every day, but an hour a day or 2 hours a day. And so I'm trying to be better about blocking time off. I think coming back from having all of December off and having all that time blocked off, I've been trying to catch up with things. I still haven't read emails from December. There's my inbox is chilling. I'm like, let me keep up with today's emails, and December's emails could just wait or whatever. So yeah, an hour or 2 of work a day, 3, some day when it's a real work day, 4 or 5 hours, and then days that I don't consider work days, I'm usually doing an hour or 2 of work. And so there's more work than I think there is, but it's also still restful. All right. Hey SJ from Serbia. Covered by God says I'm not gonna do any work today. This is work. We're gonna call this work. I was gonna make a video.
This is work.
We're making a video. All right. Sim will be there in March. How is the Reforma area for tourists? Look at the Hilton. You'll love the Reforma area. The Reforma area, as a tourist, is a prime place to be. You can get all the tourists from there. You can do anything you want to do. The bus lines run through Reforma really easily. You will love Reforma as a tourist. It's where my Mexico City adventure started, at the Marriott. It's just up the street from the Hilton. Yeah. It's when I was in Reforma when I fell in love with Mexico City. All right. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so Valerina, I see your comment about yesterday's live stream, and it sounds like you're trying to get me to do work. And I'm not adding anything new to my schedule. I appreciate the ask. I appreciate the ask. I understand where it's coming from, and I want you to know what these ladies are up to, which is why I gave, while I was hosting, I gave y'all the IG live of all the people, because, baby, the IG, you can find them on Instagram if you want to know what they're doing. I can't. It sounds like that was work. Okay, but if you watch a video yesterday, can you see the improvement in the editing skills, in the cameras, in the lighting, in the sound? Did y'all see how much better these videos are now than they were a year and a half ago when we did that? So much better. So much better.
That's longer than a year and a half.
Is it longer than a year and a half? It was
like
December 20?
2019.
2019?
Because it was pre-pandemic.
It was
And I was still in
pre-pandemic. It was pre-pandemic. December 2019. Okay. I see more questions. No, you don't have, if you have American entitlements coming towards you, like Social Security or Medicare. Well, Medicare, you won't get coverage down here. But if you have Social Security, they can deposit it into your U.S. account and you just get it out. You don't lose that by moving to another country. All right, let's see. All these questions. I'm doing my first solo trip in June for a month when I can't decide between Cancun and Mexico City. I'm from New York City, but I'm leaning towards Cancun because of the beach. What do you think? If you're a beach person, go to the beach, right? Like, if that's what you miss, I understand that in New York City, you're in June, it's gonna be a little hot. It's gonna be a little, but like, maybe you need hot, but you'll probably be leaving hot New York City to go to the hot beach. Why don't you split your time? 1 week or 2 weeks in one city, 2 weeks in the other. I don't know. I think that's what I would do. All right. Jeff is thinking about moving to Merida, but he's not so sure. People love it there, but it's also, I hear, hot as the underside of hell. Like, if y'all want to do that, go for it. It's not for me. Karen says you do private one-on-one sessions. I'm deciding between Mexico City and Playa del Carmen. I do, but I typically, so I do, and let me drop the link to those. How would I find the link to mine? I'm just talking out loud right now. I know.
I thought you had a little sticker thing or something there where you copy.
You're thinking of stuff. Did y'all see that? How rude. How rude. Yes, I'm going to drop a link to an Ask Me Anything session. You can book a session with me if you want to talk about moving to Mexico, anything else. Isn't Cancun super touristy? Is PDC about the same? Yeah. They're big beach cities in Mexico. Like, it's hard to go to a big beach city in Mexico, especially now, and not have it be super touristy. All right. Let's see. Paulette says, messaging from Toronto. Hey girl, I'm looking for a place to go in Canada in June. If you have suggestions, drop them here. I'm looking to go with a friend who lives in Vancouver. So don't say Vancouver, because we got to leave her kids behind. If I go to Vancouver, I'm gonna be with the family. This is not a family trip. So looking for a place that's not Banff, because she's going with her kids, and we're trying to get away from the kids, but a place in June that is not Toronto, not Quebec, not Banff, and probably not anywhere in British Columbia. Go! Paulette, if you have ideas, let us know. If anybody has ideas, let me know. All right, but messaging from Toronto, would you consider starting a tour business for people who want to make a move to a select number of cities? No, I would not. I wouldn't. Okay, so Adelia and I are alike in a lot of ways, and different in a lot of ways. But one of the things about both of us is that we don't want to be with anybody all day. So like, start a tour company sounds like being with people all day.
That sounds like work.
It sounds like work, and it sounds like being with people all day.
Like, I could do an event, but not.
I could maybe do a meet us in Oaxaca, we gonna eat this good food, come through. But like days of people, there is a woman who I know runs I'm gonna drop a link. I don't know. No, I'm gonna drop a link. But I don't know anything about her services or her. But let me see if I can find it and send it to you. Hold up. While I'm doing this, can you speak to the museum situation?
Love museums. What is the museum situation? And the rest of your question went away before I could see it.
Are they open?
Yeah, the vast majority are open again. There was a brief period during the Omicron ramp up that the ones run by the federal government closed, but pretty much all of them are open. And that's probably one of, in my opinion, one of the most COVID-friendly places to go because they enforce mask wearing, they make sure people keep their distance. So yeah, no. You know what? I looked at this hair, and it looks like my hair is this long. My hair is really like that long. It's too much. That's why I shaved the sides of it, and it's still too much.
Okay. So this woman does tours. Like I said, I don't know anything about her. You are not going to take this tour because I told you to. You're familiar with her?
No.
Okay. She does tours in different cities. I'm going to drop
Does
the San Miguel tour, but just San Miguel. This one does the tours of a bunch of different cities, which is why I'm mentioning her and not Michelle, because Michelle only does for San Miguel. Gracias. Our food is here. Okay, do you ladies feel any relief from racism there? People leave me alone.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Yes. Yes. Okay, but I'm gonna show y'all the food because, hello, that's why we're here. Without showing you all the other stuff.
That doesn't move.
Oh,
It's stuck to
I'm
the
gonna
table.
cover this with this then because of reasons.
That way.
It takes a squad, a whole entire squad. All right, so we're gonna take a little break. I'm still gonna leave this on, so if you have questions, you can drop them in the chat. But I'm about to eat on camera. Hello. This is my food. Boop, 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 boop. My acai bowl. Do you remember how much your food costs?
The hotcakes by themselves were like 85 pesos.
So that's $4.
And then I think this was an extra $1 or $2.
Okay. I think mine. Do you still have that up? Can you pull up the menu again? I think mine might have been more expensive. I think mine might be like $8.
This is a kind of fancy labor, but yeah, I'm not shocked at those prices. Okay, here we go. Where is the acai?
Right there. Yeah, my acai bowl was $8. I expected more. Let's see if it's deliciously tasty and totally worth it. There are raisins in it, which is not a good start. And it looks like the fruit has been frozen. It's not fresh fruit.
Yeah, 23 pesos for the bacon. So
The bacon was 23 pesos. The people want to know if the bacon is crispy to your liking.
it is crispy.
It is
From
crispy.
Mexico, this is great bacon from Mexico.
Okay.
Like 2 additional strawberries.
I would not like 2 additional strawberries. Okay, so the bacon came out crispy. She's happy. About to sanitize and eat some food. So keep dropping your questions in the comments, and I'm going to. I'll get back to them when we finish eating. I'm going to leave the camera on just so that we don't end this live stream. I saw Khaleesi said, "Are those strawberries on Adelia's plate?"
Not
no
anymore.
more.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. There were strawberries on Adelia's plate, and then she said, "No, ma'am." They gave her a bowl of butter.
Yeah, it's butter.
All right, eating time. Eating time. This was not at all what I had in mind for the day, and in the car I was like, Adelia, what do you think about live streaming today?
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, look at her with her cajete. Okay, so she has her cajete, she has her butter. I have my acai bowl. Is this coconut?
Cheese.
Right, it looks like cheese. Which is why I asked. My acai bowl is not terrible. But raisins. No, it's not good. It's not good. There's one place in town that is really good acai bowls, but they're like,
$1 million.
I think like $50. You know who it is? It's like $14 a bowl.
Well,
You know who it is.
that's just one more reason for me not to eat fruit is expensive. I saw something about, does Delia eat any fruit? No. No fruits, no vegetables.
She'll be like, tea? Tea tastes like grass.
It tastes like some random leaves and water. No, thank you.
Woo! Okay, so I saw a question that asked if I have any experience in Panama. I don't, but I am interviewing someone on my YouTube channel who lives in Panama on March 13th, live. So,
It'll be the day after I get back from Italy.
and Adelia is going to go have some experience in Panama soon because she's going there. So, we'll see. Oh, but rest of the question was about you eating fruit. When we had breakfast with her in Guadalajara, she ordered peanut butter pancakes, and now I'm hooked on them.
Is that Joe? I like that place because you can get peanut butter and can have all your pancakes.
That don't sound good to me, y'all. All right. Have you seen any gluten-free and or dairy-free options when you dine out? Yes. So someone the other day was just raving about the availability. Ooh, this light. The availability of vegan restaurants, and vegan is an option here. Gluten-free is an option here. There are lots of gluten-free bakeries here. I don't see dairy-free that much, but I also don't see dairy in a lot of foods. What do you think?
Okay. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, trying to find dairy-free ice cream that did not have fruit in it was very difficult. I'd be like, do you have some sin leche? And they look at me like, well, why you want it without milk?
And now?
I go to Joe's and
So it's available. Why she needs it? Some people are too picky. She needs it to be dairy-free and fruit-free at an ice cream place.
that's hard to do.
It's just
here.
disrespectful. She's just disrespecting these artists and their craft. We're not gonna feel bad for her, but she can't find this. We're not gonna
Did it
feel
now.
bad for
Joe
her.
hooks me up.
Let's see whatever questions you have while I'm not eating my not very good acai. They're very hit or miss here. Let's see. Is it hard to make friends in Mexico? No. It requires leaving your home. Right? But people are very into your food. Like it's a thing in the comments. It's a thing in the comments. But yeah, no, it's not hard to make friends. I've talked about this weekend, I think. If you are moving to a place where other people are also new, they want to make friends too. And so it's very easy to make friends because you're around other people who want to make friends as well. And then, like, you can make friends with locals. It's usually easier if you have something in common. Or you have, like, some thing you're doing, which is why I joined the organization that I talked about before, the International Women's Club, because I want to have, like, more experiences outside of the home, more intentional experiences out of the home. Do you ladies walk or bicycle around town? Is there a metro train? I walk. I don't bike because the biking here, like the roads here, are not for beginners. And I am not. If you're driving, they're not for beginner drivers. If you're riding a bike, they're not for beginner bike riders. And while I'm not a beginner bike rider, I'm not a cruise through the city bike rider. I'm like, give me a countryside to go ride a bike in.
But there is a biking culture here. We just don't participate.
There is a biking culture here. It's a big biking culture. I'm not in it. There is a metro. It's very safe. It's very cheap. I shouldn't say it's very safe. I feel safe on it. I feel safe on the metro. I feel safe in the metro stations. I was talking to a friend from the Bay Area yesterday. We talked about the metro stations I use, the BART stations I use the most when I lived in the Bay Area, and she was like, "Oh no, that's the worst one." I was like, "Yes, there was always someone selling drugs or pooping, like all the time. There was someone shooting up. There was a drug deal happening, or there was someone going to the bathroom in the metro station every time I kick in or out. Civic Center, hey y'all." And so here I'm like, if there's a drug deal happening, I don't see it. I don't see any. There's no one shooting up. Not at all. There's no one going to the bathroom on the side of the wall. Like, that's just not happening. There's no one passed out on the platform.
No.
There are no homeless people throwing things.
There are
Feels
people
good.
who like clean.
It's clean. There's Wi-Fi. It's lovely, right? Comparatively, right? It wasn't always, Metro wasn't always safe, but I think it's a lot safer than it used to be. They have women-only cars, so, you know, it's fine. I used to ride into the city in Bay Area. I'd leave Oakland and go to San Francisco. It was constant, like, on the train, it was constant, like, what is that in my back? What is that? Is that a dick in my back? It's not a dick in my back, is it? You know, I don't, on the women-only cars here, that doesn't happen, right? Thank you, George. We're gonna put this money towards breakfast. What did I tell y'all was not the plan? I thought y'all were gonna come in nice and slow, every once in a while, with some questions. But yeah, all right. Let's see. How did you two meet? Adelia tricked me into believing that when she met me for pie, she was going to actually eat pie and not just look at me eating pie.
I did not know what kind of pie there would be. Had there been like chocolate pie?
I had chocolate pie.
No, you had something with fruit in it.
I had one piece of fruit and one piece of chocolate.
No, it wasn't chocolate because I would have gotten it. It wasn't chocolate. It was fruit.
We gonna back this up.
I'm sure in your IG archive
there is a picture of the pie.
And it was not chocolate.
I had 2 pieces of pie. Adelia was like, I'll go with you to get pie.
Yeah, because I was hoping there would be some pie that I ate, but not fruit pie.
And then when we got there, she was like, this is disgusting.
Like,
get it away from me.
No.
But she didn't even say that. She was like, no, I don't want to eat pie. I don't want to eat pie.
I was like, that's okay.
I don't want to, and I was like, you came all the way down. She was like, no, I don't want to eat pie.
But I was there. You know, this was big for me to reach out and say, hey, if you go into the pie place, I'll go with you. That's huge.
So I showed up one day.
I don't be talking to people.
This was meant to be. I showed up for pie one day. A woman, let me tell you, it's a long story. A woman from the Bay Area, a pie maker, was in Mexico City. And like 3 different people tagged me and were like, she is here, go get her pies. A black woman. So I assume these are the homies' homie, right? Like I assume this is a friend's friend because a whole squad of women were like, go get her pie, whatever. I get there the second day in like, it's a 3-hour pie sale and like hour 2 of a 3-hour pie. And they were like, baby, if you didn't show up right when we opened, you weren't gonna get no pie today. Like, what's happening? And so I posted about the fact that, like, I tried to get pie and I couldn't get pie. And Adelia messaged me and was like, this is our first ever contact, messaged me. And she was like, if you want to go get pie tomorrow, I'll go with you. The lady was only in town for 2 days. And I was like, cool, well, we need to get there early. We got there probably like 30 minutes early, maybe. And the line was
Around the block.
the line was around the block. I don't know if they don't have pie place. Like, I don't know how the woman had a sold out line for pie 2 days in a row. Just off of, like, I only saw like a couple IG posts. And she's not from here, and she doesn't have relationships here.
She was just in town to sell her pie.
She was just in town for pie, but somebody told somebody, and like generations were out there trying to get pie. And I'm like, do y'all not sell pie here? They sell pie here.
They do.
They sell pie. I don't understand. I do not know why her pies had people. It brought all the boys to the yard. I don't know why. But the second day we get there, we talk in line. I meet the lady. She does not know any of the people who told me to go to her. Later on, I was like, oh, y'all don't know her? They were like, yeah, we know her pies. And I was like, y'all told me to go. I do not remember the name of the pie place, Halisi. I can't remember her name.
It was in Juarez, but she was.
No,
It
she's
was a
asking me
pop-up.
in the Bay Area what the name of her pie is. I don't know what her name is. I don't know what the name of her pie place is. But people were in line. Thank you, Shelly Ann Gordon. Girl, Shelly Ann Gordon is the most Jamaican name.
It is.
Thank you for breakfast, Shelly Ann. That is a lovely Jamaican name. I love it. You don't need to give me the flag. I saw that and I was like, Shelly Ann, baby, I know what it is. I know what it is. What kind of pies? I had like a raspberry pie and a chocolate pie, even though
The other one was not chocolate.
it was some kind of, but it wasn't fruit.
The crust might have been chocolate, but what was in the pie
She might be
was
right about
not.
that. She might be right.
Because I was hopeful, even though that pie was like $7 a slice. I was hopeful there would be something I ate, but there wasn't.
But do you hear how she raised her voice to tell y'all I was wrong? Do you hear how emphatic she got? The volume. Reddit is asking real specific questions today. Are Patty LaBelle sweet potato pies sold in Walmart in Mexico City?
I have no idea. I don't go to Walmart. I have no idea.
I occasionally go to Walmart, and I don't know about her sweet potato pies because I'm never here at Thanksgiving, which is what I think most of her pies are sold. I don't know. I don't. Based on what my experience in Walmart so far, I don't think patty pies are sold there in Mexico. If someone has a different answer, please let us know. All right.
Finish the pie story.
I think we finished my story. And then we hung out. Oh, did one of us leave?
We walked and hung out for a little bit after that because you were getting ready to go to Croatia.
I was asking one of us left the country. I left the country right after. And then
I
left.
went back to China.
And she went back to China. So I think the pie was was the only time we saw each other in person before we both moved back here in 2021. 2020. In 2020. Patty pies are not sold in Guadalajara. Joe knows. Joe sounds like she's. Asia says Adelia's hair is giving.
Oh, cute.
She's not happy with it today, but it's cute. Shelly Ann says it's an alias, and listen, it's a Jamaican alias. It's a Jamaican alias. We love it. All right.
I was going to say you want a pancake, but you shouldn't eat the
I should
second.
eat a pancake. SB Evans, we just told the story of how we met. We were both chasing pies, which, if you know us, makes perfect sense. We met over food. All right. Okay, so I saw 2 questions about churches. Barbara, I'm going to get to yours in a second, but there was one a ways back. Let's see. I think I lost the church question. Okay, I know a couple of y'all are concerned about Adelia's digestive tract. She seems fine.
I'm about to be 47 years old, though. I'm all right.
Did you lose weight after leaving the States?
Yeah. And then I gained it in China because I was eating my feelings. And I haven't been able to lose it.
Okay. I gain and I lose here randomly, depending on what's going on. But I feel like it's hard to say for now because like the pandemic is just. There are times where I'm like, so nothing's gonna fit, huh? So nothing's gonna fit, and then there are times where like nothing fits because everything is too big. So I've had too big and too small, like no close fit here. So it's hard to tell. All right. Barbara's visiting Mexico City for the first time next month. Which hotel do you recommend, and how do I find a nice church to visit on Sunday? Our friend named Kayla, who found her church in Playa del Carmen by getting in Facebook groups. She was looking for an English-speaking church. I don't remember which specific denomination she was looking for, if she was looking, and she found a perfect church that way. Neither Adelia or I go to church here. That's not too practical. So we can't help you. I also don't know any. I've never seen an English-speaking church here, but I have not been looking for an English-speaking church. If that's what you're looking for, I would say get in Facebook groups, ask a question. I just don't have an answer for you about finding one.
I'm sure they exist.
I'm sure they exist. I just don't. I don't have it. Hello, Gigi from Charlotte. In my travels, I love that there are more Black Americans traveling, living abroad. I've been living and thriving abroad since I was 21, 31 years and counting. Yes. Where are you now in my travels? Where do you live? Let us know. El Davis asks, how do you pay rent abroad? I use a platform called Zoom. I've got an app. I've got a website. It's owned by PayPal. And it takes money directly out of my bank account and puts money in my landlord's bank account. You pay your rent how?
In cash. But I have, where I used to live, I could go to the OXXO and make payments, and it would go into my landlord's bank account.
I could take money out of the ATM and go to OXXO, put money. The only requirement my landlord had is put money, get your money in my bank account,
And
right?
my landlord was, whatever you do, don't put money in my bank account.
Taxes here are high, and so people do what they can do to not report their income, like her landlord. My landlord was like, every month, make sure you go on ahead and slide that into my bank account because we're not playing games. And so I could go to the ATM and get money out if I wanted to, and give them money, but I don't need to. You don't need a lawyer when you sign the lease. I had a lawyer look at mine because we were making some changes, and because my landlord is thinking of selling my apartment, we had very specific things I wanted added to my lease, and so I hired a lawyer to do the work for me, and I think I paid him $100 or less. I don't remember exactly what I paid. I went to two different lawyers. One was like, one quoted me, I think, like $450.
That's a lot.
One quoted me in U.S. prices. Sorry, there's something in my eye. And the minute I saw that it was US prices, I was like, well, I'm not playing this game. But I think one person quoted me like $50, and the other one quoted me like $500 or $700. And I was like, I've asked you the same question. So I went with the $50 guy, not because I thought his $50 guy worked at a law firm that specialized in my question. The $400 or $500 person did not. And they quoted me in dollars. I'm in Mexico. Why are you quoting me in dollars? Unless you think I'm naive and I don't see that I'm getting ripped off. But I do. I say, yep, Jenny, I'm going to leave this live up, even though it was super impromptu and not planned. Why not? And I'm eating. Sorry, y'all, if you just came in, just hanging out here, eating breakfast and doing work, although I've done no work because I've been talking to you guys this whole time. Okay, Kristen says, I think I know which Kristen this is. Kristen, are you the Kristen that came here earlier this year in Mexico City while I was out of town? I think that's you. She says, hi ladies, on Sunday I believe we were talking about hairstylists flying around due to need. However, is there a need want for black estheticians? I almost always get that word wrong. Estheticians as well. And a need for an educator for aesthetics there. I don't know about a need for aesthetics. But an esthetician? Come through. I don't trust. Hi, it is you. With this skin, I need to know that somebody has some experience with this skin before I go sit in front of them, which is why I have not had a facial the entire time I've been here. Because if you mess up my face, like, we have to fight, right? Like if you say you know what you're doing, like Nubia posted about this online, it's public, so it's fine, about how she had a laser treatment and they burned up her skin. She did like a test patch on her arm, and her arm got burned up. You burned my face up, and now I gotta be in jail. I gotta go to jail because you don't know what you're doing. So yes, if there was an esthetician who came through, the bougie blacks, the bougie blacks
Would definitely be on
squad
that.
would be there. The bougie blacks are signing up. Yes, there is a need. But an educator, I don't know how many people are here that want the education. Asia said she's gotten one facial since living in Mexico and she wasn't impressed.
I got one, but it wasn't a real facial.
What they do, they just like wipe stuff on your
Yeah.
face. They just
And I
wipe you
was-
down
yeah,
and stuff.
I was like, where are the
Get
extractions?
in there,
Where-
clean out the pores, do
Yeah,
the things,
no,
do
I
the
was
things.
so disappointed.
Listen, sometimes I'm like, just sprinkle some acid on it. Just sprinkle some acid on my face, please.
Yeah.
Burn it off. And that I need. Khaleesi says her esthetician is in Denver, is from Mexico City. I get it. All right. So yes, Kristen, the bouges would be all over it. We would be all over it. Yes, come get your education. And I know you like the city, so come back. Yes. Yes. All right. Listen, how's somebody telling me to behave? If someone messes up my face, I'm fighting. Like if you burn me because you don't know what you're doing, because I'm gonna ask if you know how to do my face. If you say you know how to work on my skin tone and you jack me up because you don't know what you're talking about, there will be no behavior. I will not behave. I will not. I will not. I promise y'all. Adelia gonna have to have some bail money. Although, actually, that's part of my plan for today. We're going to do this offline, but Adelia and I, not the bail money plan, but like what is the plan if something goes wrong? So I realized this morning that we don't have backup plans for each other.
No,
And we need to have backup plans and like numbers and people to contact. So we won't be doing that on camera, but we should do that. I saw a couple people asking about nail shops. I don't go to a nail shop. My nail lady comes to me. So Aisha, I can WhatsApp you her info. You go to a nail shop, right? You went to a new one yesterday?
Yes, it was not great.
It's not great.
But I do like the one in Naples very much. I've been there multiple times.
Okay. So what's the one that you like?
Bainin. B-A-N-E-I-N.
B-A-N.
E-I-N.
B-A-N-E-I-n.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's called Bainin Nails or Bainin Nail Shop, something like that.
Adelia likes Bainin Nail Shop. I'm putting it in the chat. Nail Shop in Napoles. When my lady comes to me. The bougie
You're one
blacks.
of the bougie blacks.
The bougie blacks. Hi. Okay, let's see. We do not live in the same neighborhood. We are closer to Adelia's, what I consider south of the city, although I don't think she considers that too.
In the loop. So nice.
She's south of the city. And I am,
North and west. 'Cause you're
I'm north
almost
and
in
west.
this side of me. I mean, if we really wanna get geographic out here.
she's so rude. I'm not gonna say she's wrong, but she's rude. No, we don't live in the same neighborhood. It's probably on a no traffic. It's like a 30-minute ride. Traffic is an hour. All right. No, we're not missing nothing in the U.S. and we know it. We know it. Do you know how many black female expats there are in Mexico City?
No.
Hundreds?
Yeah, I have no clue. But we're here.
We're here. I would say hundreds, I just don't know. She's looking at my
Because
acai bowl.
I can't identify that substance.
But acai itself?
Is that the red stuff?
Yes, acai is the red stuff.
It's like pudding?
It's like gelato. It's a gelato texture.
Okay,
Not a
I
pudding
thought
texture.
acai were like berries.
Yes, but they blend them up and they make it into like a
So it's like
yogurt
a
bowl. like
smoothie
smoothie bowl.
that they decorate with fruit.
Yes, but most places use fresh fruit, so it's nice and tasty and has some texture. If this place used frozen fruit, won't be making this mistake again. Edible, but not great. All right.
See, ask me questions.
Okay, so I wasn't
I
gonna say it.
always get called out.
When Adelia orders food, she didn't do it this morning. When she orders
It was
food,
a simple order.
she asks like 34 questions every time. She'll be like, no vegetables. I'll be like, yes. And she's like, but for real, no vegetables. And they're like, yes. And we're like, no, but like, no lettuce, no tomato, no onions. And they'll be like, no vegetables. And they're like, okay. She's like, okay, well now I can order the toast. Right? Like, what is this? What's happening? It's like a 20-minute experience watching Adelia order. And now she's talking about, well, if I'd asked more questions, I wouldn't have frozen fruit. I would have, because I would have asked the man if the fruit was frozen, and he would have said no, and I would have gotten frozen fruit anyway, because that's what happens here. What you order, or what the menu tells you something's going to be, and what you actually get are like,
Maybe they match, maybe they don't.
it's not, it's a drawing, not a picture, right? Like from what you get on the menu to what you get on the plate it's a drawing of what was on the menu, of the words on the menu. It's not a picture. It's not coming out exactly like you imagine or like they say it's going to be. But it's a close facsimile. It's a reasonable facsimile. It's just not exact. Ever. All right. Let's see. You're in your, Miss Fran says you're into your 4th day of preparing for your move abroad. And you want to leave tomorrow? We prepared for years. It's our 4th day. It's around the corner. It's around the corner. Like if you just got started, you got this. You got this. You got this. All right. She asked a question. We usually ask the questions in Spanish. There's not a lot of English-speaking waiters here unless you're going very specifically to a tourist place in a tourist neighborhood. Otherwise,
that's why the first Spanish I had was all food related.
Food-related Spanish. You need more than anything else money Spanish and food Spanish. Because you're not going to find. You go to really nice places and they're still like, maybe this is Mexico. Where your Spanish at? Right? Like, no, I cannot help you. Where was I? I went to some tourist place the other day.
No, you went
To the markets.
Yeah. And then
I went to the markets. Was it Rosetta?
Probably. It was very close to
So I went. I can't remember if that's where I asked now. I was somewhere in a very tourist place, and I asked someone if they spoke English because it was going to be easier, and she was like, "Why would I?" Like, so we had to make it work in Spanish. I can't remember, but it was very much like lots of tourists come through here. Spanish. All right. Cody added that you need transportation Spanish. Because Ubers are so popular here,
Yeah, just do that.
you don't need to say anything. If you need to take a taxi, I don't take taxis here because I've taken I think two taxis. The first time I took them, I told the person where I was going, but he didn't have any kind of GPS, so we just rode around. It should have been a 10-minute ride. It was the middle of the night, so I don't know where it's taking me. We just rode around for a while until I was like, I think if you make a left here, we'll be there. But like, if I didn't know how to get to where I was going, we would still be riding around 2 years later. Because the man was like, I don't know where this is. I gave him the major cross streets. Nothing. He couldn't find his way to Alvarado over to Bowen.
Street? That's a pretty well-known street.
I've given you the neighborhood. I've given you the major street in the neighborhood, and we still riding around. Just riding around. Just riding. Because if you dropped me off on the street, anywhere on that street, I could walk my way home. Like, that wouldn't have been a big deal. We didn't get anywhere near it. And so I was like, turn here. Go ahead and then turn. No. So I don't do taxis for that reason. I didn't taxi another time where the guy had GPS that worked. It was perfectly reasonable. But the first time burned me a bit. Are Ubers allowed in the airport in Mexico City? Yes. Ubers are allowed everywhere if anyone tells me. There are also taxis.
I was going to say that's the only place I will take a taxi because it's fairly straightforward.
Yes. The taxis in the airport, you pay at a booth, either inside or outside. You pay at a booth, and they tell you how much, and you just take the ticket to a driver. I've done that. Like, I had a couple times where I said every time I've taken taxi because my phone Uber wasn't working on my phone, which I had phone issues. Like, I flooded my phone. It wasn't because of the Uber app. The Uber app always works here. There's other options like Didi. I think Cabify is here. InDriver. She uses Beat. Beat won't let me on. I don't know why.
I took a Beat here this morning.
Discrimination. No, I just for some reason Beat is always like, okay, well, confirm. We'll send you a text and confirm this you and you can sign up. But they never send me the text. Beat here, Asia said she wants to try Beat. Beat here has Tesla, so you can take a Beat Tesla as your transportation, and they're very popular. You know, in my neighborhood.
Well, that's what I got leaving on, what was it, Saturday night, Friday night, whatever that was.
Oh.
I got an actual Tesla, cheaper than whatever.
Cheaper.
It was not a smooth ride. Like, the whole time on the way home, I was like, this is like riding in a golf cart.
Is it?
Yes, I was not impressed riding in the driving a Tesla might be great.
But riding in one?
The backseat passenger, not so great.
What's your favorite place to get tacos? What's your favorite place to get tacos?
It depends on the kind of taco. Because it's okay. Hold on. Every place, if a place sells a bunch of different kinds of tacos, that's a red flag. They should specialize. You should have a spot where you go for your, what's the ones I'm thinking of on the trunk box? Pastor. You should have a pastor spot. You should have a different place where you get your seafood tacos from. You should have a different place where you want arrachera. Nobody does them all well.
We have our green chorizo spot.
Yes.
Right, like you can. Most street corner places will be good at one thing. You can get a variety, but one taco is going to be like, yes, that's it. And there are different types. Like there's taco de canasta, and they ride around. And we just got to figure out what you want. There's no like. The problem, I think the problem we have is that neither one of us will send you to a restaurant for tacos, right?
No, it's going to be go to this corner and look for the third stand.
Make sure the guy has a mustache, because the guy with the mustache will be hooking it up. The other guy's kind of right? Like, there's no one spot. It's one of those, like, you have to experience it. All right. Good morning from California, Jenna. Y'all look safe and happy. We agree that's how you're feeling now. Safe and happy. All right, do you suggest using the VPN when using public Wi-Fi there or not necessary? She uses the VPN everywhere she goes. I don't so much. I haven't had a problem, but I'm also like not accessing my bank account in the streets, right? I'm on YouTube right now. If someone wants to steal my YouTube stuff, I'll be alright. Like, I should be more regular about VPN, especially since I pay for one. I should use it, but I don't. Kamisha's Corner says she came in late. Where you guys? We're at a cafe in San Angel. Barbara says, would it be possible to meet the two of you lovely ladies during my visit to Mexico City, or will you have a meetup sometime in the near future? Awesome. Awesome. When are you going to be here, Barbara? We don't typically. If this wasn't a pandemic, I would say yes, that's more than likely to happen. But because it is a pandemic, I tend not to spend that much time with strangers, right? Especially if you've been traveling, because then you're around a whole bunch of other people. And so meeting up with people who are from out of town feels a little bit trickier than like meeting up with Delia, because I know her and I know the safety practices.
How I live my life.
I know how she lives her life. But like even Barbara, if you had the exact same safety practices that Adelia has, you still will have been on a plane. And we know our girl Stephanie got COVID from sitting next to a man on a plane, right? Like there are things that you can't control and you won't know about until after the fact. And so no, this isn't particular to you, Barbara, it's just about people in general. Like when I'm traveling, I don't see anyone. If I've been traveling, I like quarantine myself for like a few days just to make sure I'm okay. Which is why meeting people coming in and out of town right now, which is a little, like I said, possible. Depending on how long you're going to be here, depending on what's going on, possible, but no guarantees. Also, friends, love you. A lot of you are coming to town. And so it's just not possible to meet up with everybody. It's not. A lot of you. Like more than I've ever seen, people are coming to town. And it's sometimes there's just too many invitations. Hi friends. Not that we don't want to see you, but sometimes it's just a lot. But we appreciate the invitation. And yes, reach out to us when you're going to be here and let us know. Maybe we've both planned meetups here, people who live here. small, intimate things. But let us know when you come to town. Maybe we can make that happen. All right. Monique is working on our exit plan, on our expat plan. Monique, today we're just hanging out and we are answering any questions people have. And I'm not working, no matter what my plan for the day was. So the plan is to be on for at least a while. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. If you have a question I haven't answered already, drop it in the chat again. Let's do this. Rick is waiting on an invitation. Baby, what invitation are you waiting for? From who? About what? Adelia? Talk to Adelia.
I don't invite nobody nowhere.
I don't. Kamisha, we both live here. We both have residency here. Adelia has a permanent residency. I have temporary residency, which means I need to renew every year for 4 years. But we both are legal residents of Mexico. All right. What do you want to invite Rick? Oh, it's specifically Adelia. I'm waiting for an invitation from Rick Loughton.
Oh, you Rick. You gotta make yourself known. You expected an invitation from me.
Got to make yourself known if you expect an invitation from Adelia. She said it, not me.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Kiki, can you take Burnout to Bliss again? Kiki, email me if you're serious. I think you wrote that before. Email me, and I don't know who you are. I don't know who Kiki is. And let's figure something out. All right? Yes. My career break and move abroad course from Burnout to Bliss is open for enrollment. So come through. I'm going to drop a link. I'm going to type a link. I can type. So it helps you move abroad if you need some support. It has 12 modules that are designed to help you plan. So if you're stuck on the planning process, like how do I budget or how do I pick my destination, those modules help you with that. It gives you the detailed information you need to get from A to out of the country, right? There's a community Facebook group, which we are all very supportive and helpful in, and we talk to people about that experience, and very supportive of each other. And then there's also group coaching. So we do group coaching once a month. We all get together and we talk through any issues you have, figure out what to do next. And sometimes what's really helpful in group coaching is hearing other people's questions and hearing the responses to other people. Because maybe you're feeling the same thing, but you didn't know how to put your question into words. Boom, your sisters are here to help you do the same thing. So I'm dropping the link to From Burnout to Bliss in the chat. It's truly my favorite thing on the internet. It's a great time and a great experience, and it really makes a difference between like just having the idea of moving abroad and actually moving abroad. All right. Will you ladies be visiting other countries / cities before or after your trip to Turkey? Are you visiting other countries before or after Turkey?
Or yeah, I have somewhere to be.
Miss Ma'am said yes, I have somewhere to be. Part of my plan, when I was just going to answer a question every 10 minutes or so, part of my plan was to figure that out today because I don't have a plan yet. So I was going to make the plan today, but y'all keep me jumping today. A mouthful of raisins. So yes, I'm probably gonna be in the Turkey area 2 months. I haven't told Adelia yet. For 2 months. And so I will go to other countries before and after. I just don't know what. What tax liabilities do you have when living abroad? Different for different countries? Yes. Different countries, different based on the visa you have in that country or what right you have to live in that country. Different for how you're earning your money. And so I don't like talking about taxes here because taxes are a very, very specific thing. And so even if I tell you my tax situation, it could be completely different from yours. And sometimes people take other people saying things online as advice, and it's not always advice. And so I specifically avoid talking about taxes because I'm not going to get you jammed up with the IRS or any other or any foreign taxing authority. It's not going to be. So I would say consult a tax professional wherever you go. What do you think, Adelia?
I agree.
She agrees. Yeah, Karen, raisins. We talked about this yesterday. Y'all were talking about cinnamon rolls with raisins.
Oh,
Raisins don't belong in any, like,
that's one of the words I had to learn very early. Pasas. That's raisins.
this is the anti-raisin agenda right here. The anti-raisin agenda. Raisins and cinnamon rolls. And how did we get from talking about churros to talking about cinnamon rolls with raisins? Y'all just, I just don't it hurts. It hurts my heart. All right. Do you have suggestions about traveling through Mexico with a peanut allergy, or do you know of anyone there with a peanut allergy?
Yes. A dear friend of ours has a severe peanut allergy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is why my celebration, my expat cake, couldn't have been the peanut butter cake. So yes, you can be here with a peanut allergy, but you have to speak up. Mole, a lot of times will have peanuts in it, and a few other things, because often the menu will just say nuts. You have to say, are there peanuts? I have an allergy.
Sometimes the menu will not say nuts.
True, but if it's the kind of
Well,
dish
yes.
that you think might have a nut
Yes.
in it, you need to ask.
So, like I was saying before, where like the menu is like an idea, and then what comes out might not be the same. Don't assume that all of the ingredients are listed on the menu. You're gonna hurt yourself like that.
Yes.
Definitely, if you have an allergy, I have an intolerance to a number of food, but it's not an allergy. There's no EpiPen situation here. I'll be all right. My stomach might hurt for a day or two, but I'll be okay, right? But if you have an actual allergy, if you don't want to end up in the hospital, ask about all the foods you're allergic to, because just because it's not listed on the menu does not mean it's not in there. Because where was I the other day? The peanuts were in. I ate something the other day, and we were like,
There shouldn't have been peanuts in it.
no, it was. She had sushi. No, she had not sushi. What's the other one? Ceviche. Ceviche and the hot sauce. The hot sauce had peanuts in it. We were like,
Matcha or whatever it's called.
It was because it wasn't like a creamy one. It was
No,
like a
it's like an oil. And
Yes.
Yes, that
Yes.
will have peanuts in it.
yes. The hot sauce had peanuts in it. You have to ask. You have to say, peanuts will kill me. What's the word for peanuts? Cacahuates?
Carbohydrates.
Cacahuates will kill you, right? Like say, like you need to tell. If you have a severe allergy, tell them, because peanuts are hiding in everything. Just like in America, peanuts are hiding in everything down here. All right. Did you have credit card debt before you moved? If so, how do you tackle it? We both hate debt. Interesting question from BJM. What's a good amount of money to bring for 6 months to live in a 5+ star apartment in Mexico City? I'm thinking at least $10,000.
It's not a bad number.
I don't know what 5-star means to you. If 5-star to you and to me mean the same thing, $10,000 might be too much rent, right? Like,
because you can find, there are places for rent in this city that are $2,000 a month, that are $4,000 a month.
That are $7,000 a month, that are $10,000 a month. So it depends on what that means to you. Can you live in Mexico City for 6 months for $10,000? Yes. Should you have $10,000 cash when you come down here? No.
Please don't.
Get you a bank account that has no fee withdrawals and get your money out when you need it. But I don't think my accommodations are 5-star, and $10,000 wouldn't last for 6 months. Do you think my accommodations are 5-star?
5-star?
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll have a gym and showers and event space and all of that. I don't know.
But like my apartment is basic. Like it's basic.
Okay, so if they're talking about like with luxury finishes,
Yes.
that's like $5,000, $6,000 a month. Because here they will put the same builder grade cabinets that are in my apartment in an apartment that they charge $2,000 a month for. So yeah, if you're talking about luxury finishes, you don't have to up that.
Yeah. You can do it. You can live in the city for $10,000 for 6 months easily, and it's not. You're not going to be living like a pauper, right? Like $10,000 isn't poverty living in the city, but it's also a city with a lot of rich people, a lot of like wealth that you can't imagine.
Yeah,
people.
because see, rich does not capture the amount of money those people have.
It's a city with people like, okay, so when the Spanish came, they stole enough gold from Mexico to run the Spanish government for 300 years. For 300 years. Some of the people, because this is what happens, right, kept some gold for themselves. The people who come from this gold are still here, prospering. There are people here who have enough money to run the empire, right? Like this country was like ravaged, and all of the resources were huddled up by a few people. Their descendants still live here. When we say wealth in Mexico City, it's often unimaginable, like how much money some people have. And so, like, you're not going to get it is a much cheaper city and a much more expensive city than most people imagine, than most cities in America, right? Like, poverty here is serious poverty, and wealth here is like, oh, you bought a planet? Okay. Great. It's a very interesting experience. And so if you're coming, a lot of people come to Mexico thinking like, oh, like I will be a king here because everybody's poor. You won't get your feelings hurt real quick. In the Costco parking lot, you won't get your feelings hurt. But you'll get your feelings hurt by somebody's like maid in the Costco parking lot. It's just a thing. Like, people here, there is a lot of money here. I told y'all I saw that family with a wolf. Y'all got wolf money. Like, first of all, the apartment you're walking out of, like, I know that building. Or, like, I know where it is, so I know what y'all paying. Y'all got a wolf? Y'all just got a, like, the money, right? Like, what? So, yes, there's a very small middle class. And most people who moving down here from America, my battery's...
That's what I was wondering.
Most people who move down here from America are going to be in the middle class of Mexico. You're not going to be like at a poverty level down here, because it's like poverty here. The minimum wage here, they just increased it from $8 a day.
It's like 78 pesos, 87 pesos, or something like that. So it's like $8 now.
It's like $8 a day is the minimum wage.
All right.
But don't come down here thinking you're gonna be rich, because like I said, Feelings will be hurt. My computer died, so I don't know. I have to go back and see if I can find some of these comments on the screen. I think Camille said he was here last month and he felt felt poor. So many rich people. Yes. Yes. And it's not like this, I don't think, in most, like, there are other cities in Mexico where you will be able to identify that there are very rich people who live here. But in Mexico City, it's like there's wealth all, I can't point to the money, but there's wealth all around me. There's wealth all around me, right? I went to, ended up, sometimes you just end up in places in the city on adventures. I ended up in a, oh, thank you. I ended up in a private club. I ended up in a private club, and I think you had to spend $2,500. It's 50,000 pesos. So that's, yeah, 50,000 pesos a month on alcohol to be a member of the private club. 50,000 pesos, that's $2,500 basically. A month.
Just on alcohol.
Just
where
on
you hang
alcohol.
out in your spare time.
Not at the crib. To go to the private club, you had to spend 50,000 pesos on alcohol a month. 50,000 pesos, we told you that minimum wage is $8 a day, so $2,500. That's, I'm not going to do math right now, but that's a lot of days. That's a lot of days. I was like, why you got me in here? I ain't got no business. Like, there's a lot of places I end up in Mexico City where I'm like, I have no business being here. Please take me home. Please. Please. If there's a partition, please roll it up. I don't belong in this space. It also felt very like, the way the man described it, I was like, the people who are coming here are not necessarily people I want to be hanging out with. Because like the number one selling point was like, there are no cameras in here. No one will know when you're coming and going, and no one will be able to see what you're doing. And I was like, I need someone to know what's going on, right? Like, what is this thing you need all this secrecy about? It's not for me. It's not for me. So yeah, so people are spending, there are people making $8 a day, and there are people who are spending $2,500 a month on alcohol so they can get into a private space that was decorated like a Vegas brothel. I said, oh mama, I got to go home. Where's the exit? Oh, there's a secret exit out the back. I said, no, please, fresh air. I would like some fresh air, please. Thank you, get me out of here. Let's see. How far from Mexico is San Miguel de Allende? I take the bus there when I go, and it's a 4-hour bus ride. Very lovely. The buses in Mexico, just like the people, very luxurious, very nice. Nicer than most planes, nicer than any American bus. And then there's the other end of the bus spectrum.
Or you do blah blah car, and you have the driver's dog underneath your legs, your dog in your legs, and 3 people in the back. Maybe somebody's got a chicken in a box. So the whole range.
Blah blah car is an option here, and it's like arranging your own car share. Do you have to pay for gas to do that?
No, it's just they post the trip, and it's like, I think to go to Querétaro, which is roughly the same distance from here as San Miguel, it cost me $7, $10, and I didn't have to pay anything additional to that. That was kind of what I paid for my spot.
And the bus is like $20. It's a nice bus. All right, my computer's been having charging issues, so I don't know why I let it on charge all day. That was foolish of me. Prescription meds. I haven't seen a full doctor. I haven't seen a doctor here because of COVID. I was like, I don't need to be in any medical spaces. But I've either had people bring my prescriptions to me, or other things I've maybe down here haven't gotten. You can get, people in Mexico have the same ailments they have in the US. They just get charged less for the service of getting prescribed medication. So a lot of pharmacies here, if you know what you're taking, a lot of pharmacies here have a doctor, and if you can get your prescription over the counter, they do that. And if you can't get your prescription over the counter, you just go to the doctor and tell the doctor what you want and they write a prescription and there you go. Or you could also visit a doctor and the doctor will prescribe what you want. I haven't had a problem getting anything done. Let's see. Yeah, once you're approved for, Kenya says, heard that you were able to get temporary residency with current income and will not show income again once approved. Woo, okay. My battery, everything is dying today. See, this was not the plan. This is what happens when you don't make the plan. Okay, y'all. Hold, please. As I was in the car after we talked about it, I was like, oh, I should have brought an extension cord. How far away is it?
It's right here by me, so
It's not gonna work. We have to move that.
okay. So maybe we need to switch places.
Ooh, we're gonna do a little switcheroo real quick. My computer, I had my phone plugged into my computer, hoping that would charge, but it was not charging at all, apparently. So, switcheroo.
Now the problem is your computer isn't charging now because there wasn't room. Okay. So that was
Magic.
That's a fairly easy solution.
Fairly easy. Let's hope it works. Y'all see this bag? Look at this. Look at this. I love it. I got it in Argentina. That and boots were the best thing to come out of my most recent Argentinian adventure. All right, so now we got to switch everything like food and the phones.
Now if this is charging,
No, it's not charging. I was like, why are you I was about to ask her why she was handing me her computer. It was my computer. I think I disown it. I've been to the Apple Store 4 times because my computer battery is doing something terrible. And we always have a fix. I even bought a new battery and it's still doing something. It's not the cords. It's not the cords. Like, I unplug it and it still tells me it's plugged in and charging. It's not even plugged in. What are you talking about? So, hold up real quick, y'all. I need to make sure. I don't think these headphones are working now. No, my computer's dead. So, I'm gonna scroll back and see. Okay, so Halisi says, no, I got it. You do you. Halisi says that's a firmware issue. We backed up my computer and relaunched it from scratch. We did everything from scratch. Put on the old data, but on our new system, it's still happening. I don't understand. Like, what? Why is this? Okay. Which neighborhoods would you recommend to someone who loved La Condesa? Similar vibe, but maybe more affordable apartments.
watch my video.
Watch your apartment video. Drop the link in chat. Adelia's gonna drop a link in chat to her apartment videos. I will tell you guys every day of the week, Adelia is better with neighborhoods than I am. I'm like, oh, look at that shiny bakery on the corner. And she's like, well, that is exactly in Colonia, blah, 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 in the neighborhood, and then the 200 block, and the apartments there cost blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
laugh because that is so true.
I'm like, but it's so shiny and pretty. It's so shiny and pretty. Halisi wants to live in your neighborhood. Don't, Halisi, you don't. It's out in the movies. No matter what she says, it's out in the movies.
Ain't no foreigners in my neighborhood.
Ain't no foreigners in my neighborhood.
Me and a Korean dude. That's it.
We are eating breakfast, Waffle Cat. Hey, Toa from Monterey. Camille was paying $3,000 a month in Condesa. Wait, did y'all see Adelia's face?
Oh my god. No, if I'm paying $3,000, I should be in a luxury high-rise in Polanco.
Yes, you should be off Parque Lincoln
Yeah,
for
if
$3,000.
I'm paying that.
You're probably in an Airbnb, which is different. We know it's going to cost you more, but $3,000, sir, you got God. Airbnb prices are insane, and they're not getting any better. But Yeah, Adelia's dropping a link to the video.
Send the link. I mean,
It's in the chat. Watch her thing and you'll get more apartment information. I'm just like, oh look, this is beautiful. Look at that statue. Look at that park. And she's like, when are you gonna learn these neighborhoods? Never, because I have her. So I'm gonna just push you to her. All right. Oh, child, if you purchase a townhouse, do you own the land too?
depends on where that townhouse is. Because if it's on ejido land, no, you don't.
Do you see many people jogging or engaging in outdoor sports?
Love nature around
People
here.
love nature. They love parks. They love to jog. Lots of runners. Lots of bicycles. Lots of rollerbladers. Lots of skateboarders. Not like at skateboard parks though. Not like you're not walking down the street and some skateboarder is about to run you over. I think the old woman would like knock them down if that were to happen. But yeah, lots of joggers. Lots of athleisure in the parks. Lots of little dogs being walked by women in yoga pants. Hi. All right. Let's see. I love Nomadic Jamaican says I love traveling and plan to travel this year if I get a visa. What mindset do you think a person needs to travel long term? I think you need to be flexible, right? You need to understand that whatever happens, bad things are going to happen, or like unexpected things are going to happen, and you need to be able to figure out what you're going to do about the unexpected things. It's if you're traveling long term, things you don't expect to happen will happen, and you've got to figure out how to bounce back. If you're like, I have a plan and I cannot deviate from my plan, stay home, right? Because it's wild out there. There was a question about the difference between permanent residence and citizenship. Can you address this, please? I don't know what the question was. Let me see if I can find it. Was it about if it's just the difference?
I think that's the question they were talking about.
Okay, if it's just the difference of like benefits or like requirements of residency versus permanent residency versus citizenship.
Citizenship. Do you want to be able to vote?
Or protest.
Or protest? And when you are a citizen of a country, the U.S. washes its hands of you when you are in that country. Can you live with that?
I mean, they pretty much wash their hands of you even when you're in
True, but
their
they're
own
like-
country.
They're like, if you're a resident, you can call them and they'll be like, "Ooh, that's so sad. We can't do nothing for you." But if you are a citizen in that other
You can't
country,
even call them.
They're like, "Why are you calling me?"
Woo.
And then there may be some tax implications, but outside of that,
Okay. And if you're a citizen in Mexico, you can buy beachfront property.
yeah.
Otherwise, I don't even think you can as a permanent resident, right?
No, it has to be in a trust.
Yeah, as a citizen, you can buy land as a permanent resident, but not beachfront land. If you want beachfront land, you have to be a citizen. But like, do you have beachfront land plans? I don't. The requirements are more stringent. There's definitely a language test. There's a couple of things you have to go through.
And there is the reason I won't do it. You have to be here. Once you get citizenship, you have to be here a certain number of days per year, or a certain number of years. Like you can't just be out everywhere.
As a temporary or permanent resident, you can be like, I got permanent residence today, I'm leaving tomorrow, and they don't care. No. All right, let's see. The gyms and personal trainers must be affordable. Like we said, for all things in everything in Mexico City, there is going to be a high end, there's going to be a low end, there's going to be a little bit in the middle, right? Like, I don't think many, the gyms that you would think about attending, the ones that are kind of like what, a Planet Fitness or a whatchamacallit, Lifetime Fitness, those kind of big gyms, the gyms that are like this, I don't think any Mexicans here would, I don't think 90% of the locals here would say those are affordable.
People with real money are using the gym in their building, or they have a
With their
private
training.
trainer.
There's a bunch of private trainers in my building. And I'm like, okay. All right. So, let's see. Do you lose your Social Security if you become a citizen of another country? So I think what happens if you denounce your American citizenship? I think if you renounce it, yes.
That's different.
Yes.
But just because if you're a dual citizen somewhere, they don't be like, oh no, you don't get to. Because there are people who are not U.S. citizens who are entitled to Social Security because they paid it.
But if you go on the internet or you sign something renouncing your citizenship, the money might stop coming. Let's see. How does your age factor into the experience of expatriatism? Does it get harder as you get older? I don't know if it gets harder. I will say the more experience you have in life and the more money you have, the easier it gets to go anywhere. Right, the more resources available to you. Like if I had done this at 21, it might have felt really hard. It doesn't feel hard now. So it just depends. It just depends. All right, what else we got? Adelia should become a realtor. She's not gonna do all that work. Talking to people, taking them to neighborhoods.
Yeah, like I gotta talk to people.
She's not talking to people. She's not.
No, fam.
And then I saw that you should start a sewing channel, YouTube channel.
There will be sewing, like video of me sewing, not how to sew, but I gotta make some stuff before my trip in April. So I'm gonna film some of that, and y'all can see it. But
You have to make some stuff before you sell.
yeah, because I need some clothes.
You see my face, y'all? She said I have to sew because I need some clothes. She could go to the store and buy some clothes, but not Miss Adelia Alice Jenkins. Not her. She knocking out the sewing machine and sewing. Creating a matching mask too. Am I gonna get a mask? Am I gonna get a cute dress? No, because she don't sew for her friends. She only sews for herself. I have feelings about this. All right, let's see. All right, friends. I think we covered it. So this is truly, my vision was like, I would be here working all day. And y'all would pop in once every 10 minutes with questions.
I was like 4 rabbits, but they just started watching.
Yes, they're late.
I was like, that's random.
And y'all have been working us to death. Okay, so let's do 5 more minutes. Any questions you have in the next 5 minutes, drop them now. Let's talk about it, and then I'm gonna actually do the work that I came to do today and put a mask back on. And stop eating this because it's not good.
What you pay $8?
And it was more expensive than Adelia's breakfast.
And I had 3 big pancakes.
All right. I'm not seeing any more questions.
Just let them hang. 5 minutes. You gave me 5 minutes.
Camille, how many days did you get when you came into Mexico City? Why are you two so awesome? Powered by fruits and vegetables over here. That's why. That's why. Have either of you been to Guadalajara? Yes, we both think it is not a town to visit. It's not a city. I don't know, people keep talking about it,
Not
calling it a
impressed.
city. It's not a city.
Not impressed.
It's a ranchito with like a church. I don't even think ranchito is a word. That was that was the closest I could come to what I wanted to do. But yeah, I don't like Guadalajara. People love it though. They're wrong. But people love it. All right. Are you worried that residency in Mexico might be a bad mark trying to get residency in another place? I also don't have eyes on another place for residency.
I'd like national healthcare, universal healthcare. Like that. One that actually functions.
But like,
Technically, I have
I was
that.
gonna say you could have it here.
Technically, I do have it, but I would like one that actually functions.
It functions here, but not,
Yes, just
not
not
if you
where
like
I
bougie healthcare.
Yeah.
I've already used that napkin. Switch seats. Preferred Mexican breakfast? Give me some scrambled eggs, some real bacon, and some black beans, and I'm good to go.
A taco. I'm not down with Mexican foods.
But we don't talk to Adelia about food because she has terrible decision-making skills. All right. No inflationary troubles for expats with U.S. dollars. Mexico is experiencing inflation as well. I don't think at the rapid pace that America is. Like, where's inflation here?
Oh yeah, there definitely is. Prices have. My tacos went up from 59 to 65 pesos from the time that I got back. The 2 weeks I was gone.
Now she's telling us that her tacos are 25 cents more.
I don't care.
I'm
it
not.
was a shock.
Wait, where were you paying?
It's two
$3.
steak tacos,
Okay.
fries. That was 59 pesos. It is now 65 pesos.
So it was just under $3, and now it's just over $3. And I'm not saying she's wrong to feel this way, but she's getting 2 steak tacos and fries and a drink. What else?
No drink. Cheese.
2 steak tacos with cheese, fries for $3, for just over $3, $3.25-ish. So like, yes, inflation, but I was paying $3 for some tacos in the Bay Area. So yes, inflation, but we're starting at a better place. Now we can go somewhere. I can take you if you want to. Come to Mexico City to a place where you can pay what, $12 for a taco?
Oh yeah.
That's disrespectful ass man. We were inside a hotel and the tacos were ridiculously priced, and he was like, "But you won't get these down the street. If you don't get out of my face with what, like one taco for like $12 in Mexico City, please be gone." But yeah, inflation, but you're starting in a better place. Let's see. If you're thinking about moving to Guadalajara, try it out. You might, people, like I said, people swear by it, people love it. It's the best thing on earth for some people. We are not some people. We are Mexico City people. We are, I think getting either one of us to move to another city in Mexico would be like, it might require sponsorship, right?
I mean, because I went to Guadalajara with that intention to see could I live there because it's cheaper than it is here. And
In fact, you don't need that good government job. Let it go. Let it go. Is there a significant risk of armed robbery in Mexico City? This is very common in Colombia. I only know one person in the years I've been here who was robbed, and it sounded like a weapon was involved. Force was involved, I'll say that. I feel safe here. I wear jewelry where people tell you not to wear jewelry. I'm fine. I think that, what, safety-wise, what are things that concern you?
Getting like pickpocketed or mugged is probably at the forefront.
What, if you envisioned a mugging here, what would that look like?
Them saying, "Give me your money," and maybe pull a knife on me.
Not a gun.
No, because I don't feel like the average criminal has a gun. So yeah, it would be like somebody pull out a knife, and then I give them, the 20 pesos I have in the pocket in case I'm robbed, knowing that my residency card and the real money and my credit card are elsewhere.
Yeah. There's one gun store in the entire country of Mexico. One gun store. And you gotta be Jesus to get a gun. Legally. Right? And so while I know there are illegal guns here, like there are illegal guns everywhere, the illegal guns are mostly within the illegal trades. Like, if you're not selling drugs, you're probably not gonna see guns. If you're not kidnapping people, you're probably not gonna
Yeah, nobody's kidnapping me. That thought never crosses my mind any more than it would anywhere else. Nobody's kidnapping me.
It's not happening. Okay. Well, we're wrapping it up because it's truly was not my vision for the day, y'all. I have work to do. Work to do. Let's do this. All right. Do you recommend multiple passports from different countries? I think it depends on what you have in mind. I think people say that, in case the America collapses, America ain't gonna collapse. She's shitty, and she's gonna continue being shitty. It's gonna continue being shitty, but it's not gonna collapse. It's not. What do you want the additional passport for? I have 4 countries I could legally have passports from right now, and I only have one, my U.S. passport. Right, I could take a couple trips and apply for more passports, but the U.S. passport pretty much gets me everywhere I need to go. I don't need another one. Maybe one day, but I just know I was born in England, so I could go get a U.S. passport. And pre-Brexit, that would have been a wonderful idea because I could just, bop around to whatever I want to do. But post-Brexit, I can only be there. Ew. I don't want that. Why would I go through the effort of getting a passport just to be sitting in London? So yeah, I think figure out what you want as another passport. Do you get enough benefits out of another passport to do the work that's required to get it? I'm never paying for one. If I pay for a passport, it's because I needed the passport to legally flag my yachts, my mega yachts, under that country's flag. That's why I'm getting a second. If I ever have to pay for one, that's what it is. Otherwise, I can't see myself the work that you have to do to get another passport or the money you have to pay doesn't always seem worth it to me if you have a powerful passport. If you don't have a powerful passport, I get it. It's different. But if you have a U.S. passport, it's a powerful passport, you don't really need another one unless, like I said, if I need I don't know, a Nicaraguan passport to do, something, yes. But it's like a mega yacht something. It's not like I want to travel to another country or something. All right. I saw one question that I want to get to. I'm quitting my job on Friday to be a digital nomad in April. Any suggestions for preparation? I would say think about where you're going. Make sure you're checking out places that have great Wi-Fi. I don't know if you're working for yourself or for another company or starting another job, but have a plan. I think think one of the things that happens to digital nomads is you go somewhere fun and then you want to have fun. Or you're mad that you're not having fun because that was part of your plan. So if you're going to pick a fun place, have like a schedule that allows you to work during the day and have fun, right? So you're balancing it out. Otherwise, you're going to be working all the time and not having fun, or having fun and not getting any work done. So be very intentional about how you create your plan. Okay, friends. Yes, Simone, congratulations. I forgot to do my dance. She's quitting her job. She's quitting her job. Yeah, come on, Adelia, give me a little. Yes. Okay, I don't think we've seen her do that on camera before. All right, y'all, it's been over 2 hours, and this truly was not the plan for the day. Let's see, Adelia's focused on her work. She's in her computer. Well, we're saying bye. Bye.